You asked for a parrot. What do you think? Is this a good parrot? The design that I think I'm going to be able to do today is going to take two 260s, a white one for the eyes, and a yellow for the beak. Now this yellow one, you could use a 260 of course, or a piece of scrap, but I am using actually a 321. Now if you're doing this in line work, you would inflate each balloon as you went. I have them all inflated, so I'm going to get my assistant to hold the eyeballs. Ew. I'm going to take these two, the beak and a 321 that has been inflated and got maybe a 4-finger tail or 5, depending how thick your fingers are. And I'm going to tie these two together. I'm now going to make a little loop here, and it's going to be like the tuft of hair, not on a parrot. I guess parrots don't have that, but for a balloon parrot, it actually looks good. Okay, it's going to be something like that. It gives an anchor point. I guess you don't have to make it that big. And then, to save yourself some headache, make a very small bubble here. That's not that small, but pinch twist that. And that's going to make a nice firm anchor for everything. Otherwise, this loop will come undone as you twist. Depending on how much air you put in your 321, this is how long the face is going to be. And I put a little too much air in it. So my head has to come down to about that far. Here you're going to make 2 little round bubbles, and you're going to pinch twist them. They're going to be anchor points. Like that. And they're going to be important as you make the body. Pinch twist these. So you now have that. At this point, you can just tie the beak to those 2 bubbles and continue making the body. That will give it a more parrot-shaped head. For some reason, I decided to give this one a fat head. Now we're going to take this head and bring it back down to here. Bring this equal length down to here. And we've twisted it into the head there. All right, never mind.
Your nipple's big.
Now we're going to take the beak and anchor it here to these pinch twists that we made. And we wrap it around. And we can take this and hide it in the back. Bring the back of the head down and anchor it in here. Squeeze it as you go to keep it soft. All right, so now you have that. The body is pretty basic. It is just a 3 balloon body, and what's left over is the tail. Now, really, you can make a fancy parrot, of course, but for this particular one, I did this in line work occasionally. I really didn't get many kids asking me for parrots, but every now and then I did, and this was handy to know.
I asked for one.
That's right, you did. Now, by the looks of things, I'm going to have to give this one a short body, or I'm going to have to use a second balloon. So we're going to see how I go. And don't be afraid when you're doing line work to bring in a second balloon. Okay? It's an extra, what, 10 cents. This will be the length of our body. And now I'm going to make a bubble here and pinch twist it. It is going to be an anchor point.
Where's the eyes go?
I kind of like having the tail this long, and I really want to have a body here. So I'm going to take a second balloon and I'm going to make our body. Anchor it down there, bring it up to the top. If you have a nice pump, especially a stand-up pump like this that comes back when you push it, this one has a spring in it. It's actually a slingshot band and makes it come back up. If you have something like that, it is no trouble at all just to grab another balloon, put a little air in it, break off the excess. So we have this, and I'm going to anchor it into there. Wrap it around. And I'm going to make it come back down to here. That'll be the basic body of the parrot. If this is too short, then use this as the tail, but you're going to get rid of one of them, and we're getting rid of this one. And now you have that. If it was just sitting on an object of some sort, you could just put that object right there. I'm going to give this one feet, though. You can give it big, fancy feet. I'm going to give it little basic feet. Not the whole loop, but this is going to be a foot right here. I'm going to wrap that into here. If I had done 2 bubbles there, that might have been the perfect feet like that, actually. Sometimes this is going to happen when you're in a big lineup with tons of people and you're in a rush. This is going to happen. You just grab another balloon and go at it again. I'm going to use the part that broke off. Foot, toe, toe, foot.
No.
Remove eyeball. Let's try this again. Break off the excess. Give it to your child.
How about this?
At this point here, we have the basic body of the parrot. Now we got to give some eyeballs. This will really make it. Take a white round, 5-inch round with a tiny little bit of air in it, and then you split that in half. And these will become your 2 eyeballs, and you put them, just a second, and put it behind the beak, right there.
You want to make a parrot?
Of course, you can position your eyes wherever you want. You can put them up high like that, or you can position them down low like that.
Up high.
Up high. Okay. Marker. Of course, you can do the eyeballs however you want. I never did it in 2 colors when I did line work. But this totally works for a parrot. If they want it on their shoulder, you make a balloon that goes around them like this, and you attach it to the shoulder. Now, if you want to improve it, make a second bubble here to stabilize the tail. That'll stabilize the tail a bit, but if you really want to make this a little fancier, such as if somebody gave you a really good tip and you want to make something a little extra, you can give your parrot wings. Just like the eagle on the eagle video, you take a long balloon and make a series of round ones. Come back here.
I forgot the eyelashes.
So usually about 5 bubbles is what I did, 4 or 5, doesn't matter. Tie them together and make a second balloon the same length as that second bubble, the same length as that first one, and then a string of 5 bubbles again.
Like seeing eyelashes.
Very cool. Now you tie this together. Break off the excess of this. Tie this off really, really good. Stop.
I'm alive.
Back over here. When you're tying something like this, grab both ends, the nozzle and the broken end, and tie them together. Physically tie them together. You'll be doing yourself a huge favor, big time saver. I mean, if you're the kind of person that fixes balloons, I mean, you know, I used to tell people my balloons had a 10-minute warranty. If it came undone, really, I wasn't picky about the time, but if it came undone at some point while I was still there, I would get them to fix it. So I learned to do things that would prevent things from coming undone. Assistant. Balloon. Wings. Now I'm sliding it from here in between these parts of the body. Now I made this body a bit tight, but if your body's a little bit bigger, the wings go in a little easier. I think it looks a whole lot better with some wings on it. Leilani Poo, come here. You asked for a parrot. What do you think? Is this a good parrot? Do you love this parrot? Now you want me to make you a parrot, right?
A purple one.
And you want me to make you a purple parrot. I have no idea how I'm going to do it. My assistant today is Leilani.
Mustache.
And she requested I make a parrot,
Mustache.
which I've done in real life a few times, but I haven't done on video. Assistant.
I do it.
You gonna do it? No, those are just lines. No, she's ruining it. Okay, eyeballs. You should get the darker. Go get the dark blue too, or the black if it's there. This will be the blue for the eyes.
Black's gone.
Well, is there dark blue?
Nope. Not even dark blue.
What is there?